For this video, I've got 4 side hustles that I've studied that nobody else is talking about that can make you up to $500 per day. All you have to do is choose one and then execute on it. Brian Winch makes over $650,000 per year, and he started by picking up litter and trash from parking lots. Brian began picking up litter in parking lots back in the early 1980s before work every day. Within a few months, he had turned that into a full-time business, and today that is a $650,000 per year operation. Now, I recently did a deep dive into what it would take to actually start a litter cleanup business and also how in demand this business actually is. Surprisingly, when I did a search for this in my specific city, which is a medium-sized city and is growing, in fact, over 9,000 apartment complexes were built just in the last year. So it's definitely an upcoming growing city. And still, there were not that many businesses or people offering this specific service in my city. Additionally, the community in which I live just was sending out emails a couple of weeks ago asking for people to contribute to this service within our community. If you think about it, this service is in demand all over for people, personal businesses, small businesses, and large businesses would have a need for this specific service. So this little bit of research shows me that this service is in demand and there's not a ton of overwhelming competition for it, which means it would be an excellent business to start in 2025. Now, I listened to a podcast here that had Brian Winch on it, and he's talking about the way to market this specific business. Take a listen.
What I learned pretty quickly was need to sell the benefits of your service or your product. People are not going to buy the features. They're going to buy what's in it for them. And the fact I would hit upon those when I would talk to property managers, hey, I can give you a cleaner property for less money, and I'd love the opportunity to send you some more information as to how we can do that. And no hard sell. As an introvert, I didn't hesitate sharing what I could do for my prospects and give them a cleaner property. So I never looked at it as I'm going to pick up the phone and try to sell something to somebody. I'm going to share the benefits of my service.
So as you can hear from that talk, he's giving some really terrific free advice here on how to market in the most simplistic way possible for a litter cleanup business such as this. And the best part about this specific small business or side hustle to get started doesn't really cost that much to get started, and you don't really need to have any specific talent to do this. Now, the supplies, to be exact, in order to get started, you would need something like a trash bag, a vehicle, and a cell phone. If you really want to get fancy, you could get some type of work gloves, and then one of these reach grabbers. They can be found on Amazon or Walmart for around $9.98. You would then want to also get some type of marketing flyer that you are handing out to businesses when you go in to talk to them. But trust me when I say that you can get marketing flyers, especially in end of 2024 moving into 2025, extremely cheap. I'm talking under $15 for 100 of them. Another great thing about this type of business is that you can expand it, so it is expandable. Let's say a business starts out with a litter pickup in their parking lots, but then they expand into maybe needing trash takeout or trash pickup, or also moving into office cleaning. This type of business in and of itself is expandable, and that's a really great component of starting a business. So with the average service costs here for this type of business or service sitting at around $50 to $75 per hour, you are looking at a really pretty penny if you were to obtain just 3 to 4 clients. Let's say that you do your marketing and you go out and you get 4 businesses to sign up. That's $50 times 4, which is $200 per day for just 4 hours of work. Pretty soon, if you put in that hard work and effort, you too could have a $650,000 per year business. Just don't forget about those taxes and to file an LLC. Okay, moving into small business number 2, various studies show a steadily increasing search for the search term ghostwriter. And that indicates that this service is growing in just about every single business out there, including content creators. To make this even more enticing, there are AI services available nowadays that can help make ghostwriting easy. And nowadays, they'll even assist you in perfecting your ghostwriting. So just in case you're unaware, what is a ghostwriter? A ghostwriter is a professional writer who creates content like books, articles, speeches, or other texts that are credited to another person as the author, meaning they write for someone else but do not receive the public credit for their work. They're often hired by businesses, content creators, or other types of people who lack the time or writing skills to produce the content themselves. Now, I want to point out content creation in particular because it's a huge and growing business. And I've heard a lot of content creators talking about how they're using ghostwriters for their own newsletters. Building a newsletter is a great way to go about marketing just about anything. And when a business and content creator begin to grow that newsletter, they eventually get to the point where they just cannot handle the workload, and that's where you would come in. Now, I do recommend having some prior knowledge or skill of proper grammar, writing skill, or what a proper newsletter should look like. However, like I stated, there are definitely amazing AI tools like this one that can assist you in writing for this side hustle. Now, this specific tool here can write an entirely properly cited article for you with images, YouTube videos, proper readability, and it can have it completed all within 5 minutes. Recently, their updates here make using this for content creation really huge because they have updates like this one here called the brand voice feature. If you're writing for a content creator, chances are they're going to have their own type of brand. They're going to have their own voice. They're going to have their own way of saying specific things. And there's most definitely going to be a type of tone, personality, style that this specific content creator is looking to have within their newsletter. And this new brand voice feature allows you to customize tone, vocabulary, syntax, and more to develop a totally unique style for your articles tailored to your audience and business needs. I also have a video on my channel of a complete rundown of this amazing tool that I'll have linked down in the description box below for you to check it out. But using this tool is completely free to get started, and I definitely recommend hopping over to their website, creating a quick account, and checking out what all the tool can do. They did provide me with a coupon code for you all. If you use the coupon code here on my screen, you will get an additional 25% off any plan that you choose. So if you were looking to start this as a side hustle or a small business and you wanted to utilize this AI tool to enhance that small business or side hustle, definitely hop over to the website seowriting.ai and use my coupon code. Now, when it comes to marketing your services for your newsletter ghostwriting service, there are many ways to do this. However, I do want to provide a couple of options to help spark inspiration for you. The first is always, in my opinion, to open up a Google business account. The second would be to open up an account with marketplaces like Fiverr, Upwork, and then the last way would be to directly reach out to specifically content creators. The typical price point of what I found while doing my research was $25 to $100 per hour. They also charge by the word, and that can vary 10 cents to $1 per word. What I think that this really ranges on is your own level of expertise and how well you are at this and your professionalism that you would bring to the project. Okay, moving into small business number 3. Did you know that various studies report a significant amount of people, 50% to be exact, still do not know how to properly use their smartphone? They either don't know how altogether or they don't know how to use specific features on their smartphone device. When COVID-19 hit, there was a job role that I took part in, and that was answering phone calls and to help people understand how and when the vaccine would be available to them. One of the major job roles during that time was helping people from older generations learn how to maneuver their computer to actually go and find the way to set up the vaccine on their computer. At that time, I realized this would be an amazing service to offer as a one-on-one for people looking for it. In fact, I had many people asking me, telling me I was good at that, and did I actually offer some types of service that would help them learn how to work their computer. Of course, I really didn't at that time, but that got me thinking on how to research for this specific side hustle or small business, and I want to go ahead and break this down into a small business and what that would look like. Now, you could honestly start this type of business in 2 ways. You could offer one-on-one services to help people know how to do basic functioning of their smartphone, and then advanced features, advanced functioning like camera settings, apps, downloading apps, working apps, how to work their video recording, settings, passwords, all of that. And then you could also start a YouTube channel doing this exact thing. Now, I would definitely recommend targeting the older generations, people over a certain age. You would have to do your research on that specific age point. But as far as marketing, I would suggest actually utilizing paper flyers, passing them out, maybe even going to places like senior centers or places during the day like YMCAs parties, places like this that you know that you're going to have your target audience, and actually talking to people and marketing your services. You must be cognitive of the specific generation that you're working with. You're going to want to make sure always, of course, that you're remaining professional, that you're performing in a timely manner. When people receive a great service, word of mouth is huge, and the word of mouth will spread that you offered this service and that you're doing a great job. I do recommend doing it either in person, obviously, or on Zoom, whatever you're personally comfortable with. And this one would really only require that you are really comfortable with working with people and that you actually have a smartphone device and that you have the capability of learning about that smartphone device. This one actually sounds really enticing to me because I love that generation of people, and even younger people may want to learn how to work their camera or lighting and things like that within the smartphone. So advanced one-on-one classes would also be an option for you as well. You could also utilize up-and-coming websites or apps called Teachable. That's just one of them where you can create your own set of one-on-one classes or classes for individuals. They pay for the service and then they receive it via Teachables. Typical price range for a one-on-one service like this is going to be $50 to $75 per hour. After just a few clients, you guys, you could really start to bring in a significant amount of money for just a few hours a day. Okay, let's move right into number 4. 2.3 million couples are wed in the US every single year. That breaks down to about 6,200 weddings being performed every single day just in the US. And you know what that means. 6,200 officiants are needed every single day to perform these wedding ceremonies. The typical price point for a wedding officiant in the US is between $200 and $400, but depends on a couple factors like whether or not you're going to make yourself available for the rehearsal, which is extra time. For many of you wondering out there, you do not need to be a pastor or a religious figure in order to be an officiant. In fact, many couples nowadays do not want a religious figure doing their wedding. Now, in order for a person to become ordained, it really depends on the states. So I am in the United States of America. Each state is different. You will want to definitely obviously check with the specific country that you're in. For the USA, you're going to need to meet these requirements. You have to be 18 years old or older. You're going to obviously then need to get ordained. You can become ordained through online ordination services. I'm going to have a few linked in the description box down below. And then you're going to need to obviously register with local government. Some states require additional steps. You're going to need to just check with your state. It will then obviously be important to then go in and market your services. So you would do this basically in the same way. I would definitely start out with telling family and friends that you are an official officiant and that you can perform this service for any of your friends who may want to just elope or get married on the quick on a weekend. Also, you can utilize marketplaces like I've stated before, like Fiverr, Upwork, also Thumbtack, and you can also do non-digital marketing such as flyers, things to that nature in popular areas in which people would be looking for this type of service. At the average rate of $300 per ceremony, you are looking at a pretty penny if you were to really build this up. All right, my friends, always remember that nothing comes easy in life. Everything takes time and attention. If you're providing value to anybody and you're giving it the time and attention and hard work that it needs, I can almost guarantee that you're going to be successful if you're doing it right. These are just a couple ideas that I've researched to move into 2025. If you find you have any questions, always drop comments down below. Thank you all so much for your support, and I look forward to seeing you in my next video. Bye-bye.